Okay, it looks like we're starting to get some progress here. Yep, yep. All right, let's see. Let's look at our options first. Audio is up to 30%. We probably should go a little bit further. Somewhere around 60% seems to be pretty good. Alrighty, we might as well go ahead and get busy. All right, let's see how we're doing. Oxygen is coming around pretty good. Heat, no progress. Pressure, very little progress. Biomass, not making much of a difference so far. But anyway, it's time to put out the trees. And then, of course, after that, we'll be doing the insects. We do have some plants out, but we're only getting an 8.4 score from that. And I went ahead and moved this back a little bit. Let's see, how's our power? Oh, our power is looking pretty good. And I probably should do a little bit of a show and tell on that. I think I mentioned last time that if you have 3 of these smaller units like this here, you can use the contents from them. Guess another way of showing that is you look here, you see what it takes: super alloy water and 1 rod. But this one takes 3 rods, 1 alloy, so you get a refund on the alloy, super alloy. But you also have to have explosive powder. So you want to make that first. If you can't, then you're going to have to wait. And then later on, you want to make one of these because it puts out even more power. See there, if you look at the bottom of the pop-up window, 1485 per second. This one's only 33.5, or I should say 331.5 per second. And this one, of course, is only 86.5 per second. So as you can see, it's quite a jump. And of course, you'll have to string out a whole lot of these for a while. And you'll probably have quite a few of these for a while until you can start doing these. Now, these are good indicators that you have active power because they rotate. If they stop rotating, you know you got a power problem. But notice it's only 12 per second. And here's a jump to 6.5 per second. But it kind of sounds like you're going backwards, doesn't it? The way they've got this listed, it does. It sounds like you're, but believe it or not, you might try to install one of these and discover it doesn't make any difference. You see, if you look at that more closely, it's 1.2 per second, not 12, 1.2. And this one jumps it up to 6.5. So that's a 6-fold increase. And this one jumps it up to 19.5. So if you compare 6 to 19, that's pretty much a 3-fold increase. And of course, the increase keeps going. That's why whenever you could do some of those at first, you want to get into these as soon as you can, and then into these, and then now I'm into these. So I went ahead and taken down all the other ones like that if they were nearby. Now right now I'm still stuck at the T4 heaters, but when the T5 comes in, it'll be the same thing. There'll be quite a bit of an increase. The only way I could hope to get these better is by putting down the boosters, these things right here, optimizers. Now these are all inside, but this one, if I believe right, is the outside. And again, notice the need for explosive powder. Oh geez, did I bring yeah, I did. Well anyway, they all kind of work the same way. Now these bigger ones won't go up on the platforms like we did with here. But these newer ones that put out even more power will. So I technically, once I could put another one of these up, I could take some of these down, but there doesn't seem to be any reason to. I've done that before, like with these. It'd be unusual for me to have 2 rows of these like I do right now in the other games I've played. But you need all the energy you can get when you start, updating this other stuff. It draws a lot of energy. Now I can't make the T2 on these yet, but I did have the necessary fuse, and I had 2 of them, so I went ahead and just put another one out here. So I've got a little bit of a double coverage, and as far as I know, that works out pretty good. Now here's another thing a lot of players don't do, even veterans. At first you can only make these, so it's best to put 2 of them kind of face to face, and then put your platform up with these foundations, and then start storing this stuff, because you'll come into projects and you notice you don't have enough of whatever it is you need. So the only way to get around that is like I'm showing you right here, especially these cobalt. If I make oxygen with those cobalt, of course I use them up pretty fast. And I try to arrange these the same way they are arranged in my inventory, but it's not always possible. See, I should have magnesium right here, but I put the magnesium over here. And I've been using some out of there to try to keep up with what I need for ore to make certain things. And I have a tendency to fill these cabinets up with titanium. See, I haven't quite got that one filled yet. I've been taking so much out of these other ones when they were getting near full. Well, I just don't need that much titanium. And there we go. See, there again, we have the same problem. Now, in the past, I used a process called lake deposit. And let me show you what that means. You come over here to the lake, find a shallow spot, hit your tab key, and then just start dumping the extra ore that you don't need right now into the lake. And of course, it'll roll down the hill until it gets to the bottom and finally stops. But if you ever get in a situation where you need more of it, there it is. You can pick it up, and you don't have to worry so much about not having what you need to continue your progress. Okay, now I used to have my door over here, and I used to have some of these across this wall. But then I found out that you can take stuff from 2 rows that are tightly placed together. You just can't do it the 3rd row. It won't let you do the 3rd row. So you have to come over like this and grab it. Oh, it's not finished yet. That one's finished. That'd be a better demonstration. And it just won't let me take it. So if I want it, I have to come over here and do this row separately. Now, if I had 4 rows, I don't have enough space because of this. And the doorways, I used to have a doorway here, so this doorway is a kind of indication. Once I get to a doorway, I stop, because I know I need that walkway. Now, inside here, you can put these in, but you need ice, of course. And when you put this one in, you can get your tree bark. But it generates fairly fast. It takes around 6 or 7 minutes before you got more bark. So you kind of have to force yourself until you get drones and get them going to come in there and collect stuff. Now, I know that I wanted to have a control center. It used to be down here, but then I wanted to put this in, so I had to take it out. And I put the control center on a higher level. Seeing that oxygen counting off like that is very encouraging. Okay, so let's see. Do I have some extra water? Yeah, I do. And we'll go ahead and eat one of these and eat another one. So we'll need to store some stuff. Well, anyway, once you get this up and you send off the necessary rockets, you can see where stuff is. And that's where you have to use a T2. You can use a T1 here. I recommend two of them, and you'll notice later that that's what I got. Same thing here. I've got two T first level ore extractors face to face. But on these other ones, except for maybe here and there, now you gotta have a T2 there. You can have the first one there. It needs another T2. T1, I believe, works there, but I don't have one installed because I've got two of them right here at the main base. See, it's kind of hard to see unless I zoom in. See, this is where I am right now. This is the main base. So I just put two ore extractors. I don't know how well you can see that detailed or not. See, there's the moisture collector that makes water for me. Looks like a big funnel. Then we got the two ore extractors face to face with extra storage. So we don't have to do the lake deposit quite so much. I've got the same thing over here. There's the 2x2 made out of 4 1x1s. There's the moisture collector. Well, it doesn't really show up that well, but that's where we got the two ore extractors face to face. And of course, these are all the solar panels. And you can see how many solar panels I put up here because I couldn't get uranium yet. And then once I did, I put a shelf of this first iridium power generators there, and then I started taking them down and making these out of them, the bigger ones. And we finally got a better one that where you have to have the quartz. And let's see, I can get by if I went all the way out here, which I probably will at some point. But I got all my first level ore extractors over here, plus an extra large series of 1x1s, so I could put a lot of heaters in there. It makes sense to me to put things as close as you can. Let's see, I haven't done anything out here yet, but I have put one of them out here. I've got one T2 ore extractor there. I've got two T2 ore extractors in here. And you'll see it kind of looks like pillars. The stones form like a pillar, then you go in. But I picked up all the super alloy that was in there. And there was, of course, a blue box and everything, so I emptied it out. Now, I don't think you can see it. Yeah. Well, you can see my 2x2 there if you could zoom in. And I've got a water collector. But this needs a T2, so haven't done anything with that one yet. Once I get drones in, then I might try to develop these other areas for additional storage. I really don't know why I would bother putting something out here, because everything I've already got up provides them. All the first level ore extractors plus the second level. Now the third level, oh, here it is. We've been out here and we've got one of the T2s out here. There's another spot. Oh, no, that's the 2x2 made out of 1x1s. Where would it be? I've got another T2 I recently installed. Yeah, see, there's the solar panels. I think I've pretty well finished this one out until I could get a T2 deconstructor. That's when we start picking up circuit boards. But right over here somewhere, it would have to be in this area. I've got a ore extractor. Maybe that's it right there. It's kind of hard to tell for sure since I can't zoom any more than that. But that does look like an ore extractor, more so than anything else I could see over here. And that looks like about the right spot. It's for this mineral right here. You've got all of this area right here where you can get this one. See what they call that? Obsidian or something like that. I've been in here a couple times, but I don't think I've got it finished yet. Well, anyway, as you can see, just about anything you might want to harvest with an ore extractor is shown once you send up enough rockets. And it'll tell you where to go. Now, when we get into collecting plankton for the fish and stuff, we'll have to go out here. And if I remember right, yeah, we haven't done much over here. Down here in this water is blue crates. I think there's even one gold crate. And somewhere right around here, or maybe it's over here, I forget, there's a in the ground thing that you can explore and get stuff from. And according to the storyline that I've read, when I go into these in the ground structures, because there's another one. Well, I don't think this is really showing it, because that rock formation doesn't look like the right one. It should be over in here somewhere. There's an in the ground structure, and if you have the time to read, you'll find that he took off and decided that he wanted to go to another crater. And apparently he went to this crater. Now he's not there. He must have died off or something, because this planet was not developed at all when I got here. And what's the other thing I want to tell you about? Okay, over right in here somewhere, there's, if you have a deconstruction tool, even the first level one, you can find a fake wall. It's just a real narrow entrance. And you go in there, you'll find a guy in a spacesuit that got apparently clobbered by a falling part of the ceiling, even though the ceiling doesn't look like it's missing any parts. It looks almost completely square inside there for the most part. Like the guy built that on purpose and removed a lot of jagged edges and stuff and smoothed up the ceiling and the walls. But there's a chest in there that you can open up, one of the blue ones, blue crates. And there's a kind of like a laptop screen kind of looking thing that you can read to see the message. Well, no, the screen looks more like something you'd see on a desktop computer system. And there's, of course, a blue crate in there, and you can get some pretty good stuff out there. Okay, what do you think? Good enough briefing? Well, anyway, I'll zoom out. And then we'll go over here and we'll X out. But that'll give you some ideas. And, of course, you use this one to open up. And we've got the T2, but not the T3. The T3 lets you select, if you put it down in the right location, one specific ore. And of course, that's the ore you want to collect without collecting all the, what you might call first level minor ores. And see, that won't open up until we get to 13. Well, we are into PA, but man, we're only 1.8 right now, so that's going to be a while. Of course, the more heaters and whatnot that I do, and insects and trees and all that good stuff. Since I'm at the tree level will help with oxygen, but it'll also help get this up. But right here, it tells you that mostly what you need is to develop your heat up the planet better. So that means I got to use the bigger, let's see, these ones right here, I need to upgrade to T4 if I haven't already. And I'm pleased those are outside, so I have not done that yet. So I need a lot of explosive powder and a lot of those rods, those kind of orange colored rods to make with the red rock. See what they call that? Iridum? It's spelled IRIDIUM. So that would be my next big project. See, do I have some extra water? No, I used it already. Okay, well, that'll have to do for a briefing for now. Because I need to get outside here and grab some water. I've been using ramps since the stairs kept getting in the way. So I'll just right click to drink one right there, then I'll collect one for later. And then I gotta wait till I get tall enough and aim high so I can get up here. Alright, so I need to put the tree bark away, which would be right there. Since I don't have a need for it right now. I believe the squash is full. Double check here. Yeah, but it's full. I think the same might be true of the eggplant too. I put this in alphabetical as best I could. Nope, I got a spot for that. But I've noticed that if I look in my avatar's inventory, certain things are always listed first. So even if I have, say, some aluminum or something, this will still show up first. There's a couple things that are not alphabetically organized. So I went ahead and put the food here like this, since it's always going to be the first thing listed. There's some other items that you might not want to list alphabetically when you start putting all these storage cabinets up. Well, they don't call them storage cabinets, they call them lockers. Alright, so let's transfer one over. Like right now, I can't store all this software I've collected. I've got this cabinet full, which would normally be listed as miscellaneous. That's what these are for. They're all miscellaneous. What I call overflow. Oh, I can put one in there. I must have grabbed something out of there not too long ago. All right, let's see. What else can I do with my buggy? Did I do the beacon? We'll have to check on this little side pocket right here. We've got the unlimited oxygen. We've got the inventory increased once. We've got the basic lights and the T2 equipment, so I can put more. It gives me an extra row. So I haven't done the beacon yet. I pretty well figure you have to have the beacon. So now, since I've got the ability to pin a recipe, I right click and it shows up right here. That way I don't have to remember what I need. I'm not exactly a young guy anymore, so my memory is not that good sometimes. Alright, so, oh, we don't have any. Well, I know where I could get some. So I'll tell you what, let's do that. But I need some oxygen. And I need spare oxygen. Unless I've got a, what I call a rescue pod. It's usually a 1x1, but usually I try to make it more than that. Let's go ahead and grab some water. We've got one. That should be enough. And I'm pretty sure I can recharge without making more oxygen bottles out of my cobalt, since I don't have a lot to spare. Of course, we could look for some cobalt on the way up, but I have to have 2 of them. I think I've got just about everything harvested out of here already. Yeah, it looks like it. So we'll just have to go in here and charge up a little bit more. See, there's the, I don't think those are the new ones. Because these go outside. So I've got to disassemble all those. And this one does not have, no, that must be the newer ones. This one uses explosive powder. Doesn't look like the newer ones. It looks like the prior version. Okay, well, anyway, we'll investigate all that later. Okay, where's the entrance? There it is. All right, we got to hot rod through all of this. Well, we could come in here for a second, organize it, and take some of this back with us. That's taking a little bit too much, I think. And if I remember, I got it. Yeah, there's the two pieces of ice that haven't melted yet. There we go. There's what I'm looking for. Then we'll organize it, and we'll use the old control key, then click, grab all we can. And I haven't expanded this one yet with the extra storage space. Oh, I would see how much do I, oh, I could get another one. So I can make an extra bottle of, so you can't harvest these directly. You have to drill for it. There's another one right there. All right, well, anyway, if we don't lag around, I've got a high enough oxygen bottle to where I don't have to worry about collecting too much cobalt and burning it up, because I could just race back into here and get to my rescue shelter, pod, whatever you want to call these things, outpost. And then we can charge up a little bit. But since we have one set of cobalt, I'm going to go ahead and make a standby. And then I could go ahead and beat it back over here. Get back to the base of operations. What I like to call HQ headquarters. Kind of a military way of thinking. And then we could focus on getting that beacon done. We'll download a bunch of stuff first. Oh, figures. I don't know why they drop me like that every time I come here. All right, so let's see. Our recipe up there says I need to keep. Whoops, that's the wrong one. I need to put all this back, but keep one to fulfill this, and we'll do the same thing with the Z-Lite. Take back one. Now we need a super alloy, which I put over here. Now I could get back over here and make the beacon for my buggy. Then I'll have to come over here and stick it inside. There we go. And then I always have by habit click here to organize things. Now the buggy is super useful. And if you push this little button right here where it says grab, see there? It's in your pocket. If you look in your inventory, there it is. And so all the extra space it provides is what you're after. Plus the fact that you don't have to carry oxygen tanks much anymore. Now it has unlimited oxygen. All right, so what we still need a little bit of food, so I'll grab these. That'll set me up pretty good. But remember, I've got some stuff out here, so that's where I should be taking it from. But we got extra. Now the only thing the buggy can't provide for me is the water, so I'll go ahead and grab another one. And since we're low on water, I'll just go ahead and right click to drink it right out of the... You do the same thing at right click on these out of storage and it'll satisfy. Alright, so let's see. I can't make it explosive yet. And I can't use my map to find stuff. So in my mind, I kind of have to know where stuff is. Now I'll show you like I did before. Since I've already finished this one until I can get a T2 deconstructor, go back in for the circuit boards. We've got our shelf of shelter over here, but we also have these stairs. And of course I can fly up them. And then we have, there it is. I haven't gone through the maze yet. So what I'm going to do, dang it, come on, work. Doesn't want me to fly over this for some reason. We'll go up here and we'll look to see, yep, we missed one aluminum. So I'm going to go ahead and grab it. And it looks like we might have missed one super alloy too. Because as far as I know, the game doesn't resupply. Once you harvest it, that's it. So I must not have harvested these items before. Even though I thought I did. Be interesting to find out that there's certain spots where stuff respawns, gets replaced after a while. Okay, I don't have a bridge to go across there, so I gotta go this way. And if you fall off the ledge, then you gotta start over. If you aim high, give yourself some altitude before you try to go across, you can usually make it. What we got over here? Just another place where we might find some Z-light later. I didn't bring any iron with me, so I can't really demonstrate making bridges. When you come across those real narrow spots like that, it's best to fly over them because they still work to give you some altitude. Alright, so there's my one bottle of oxygen I brought. So we won't be able to do a whole lot more up here. Alright, so give myself some altitude. Come on, quit bouncing. And see if we can make this ledge. Yep, we made it. Probably should turn my light on. There's the spaceship I want to get to. If I had brought some iron with me, I could have made a little bit of a bridge, but we'll see if this works. Aim high. Quit bouncing. There we go. Uh-oh, we didn't make it that way. So we'll have to do it another way. Oh, there's a good asset there. Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab some more aluminum. That won't do us much good right now. We gotta have a pair of them. Well, anyway, we could. Oh, I should probably collect that because I can use that. I'll go up here, come across, and you got a little bit of an access ability right here. Now I've already got one there. See how I did it? So now I can get in pretty easy. And let's go ahead and what's going on? Didn't want to let me pick that up. Okay, let's see. The only thing we don't see in there that we could use is the, I don't need that right now, so I'll put that back. Take this instead. So we're finished. It's a good thing since we don't have any extra oxygen. Can't really collect anything else, so we might as well, where's that? There it is, right there. The portal. So we'll go down, go over in this area. It's another way you can get to this higher elevation. And no, we don't want to go down there. We want to go this way. This will get us back to our main base of operations. Now I'm looking at my oxygen level right now, which is bleeding off kind of fast. And I don't have a, what I like to call a rescue shelter or pod right in here. So I don't think I'll make it all the way back. So I've got a choice. And I'll go ahead and go over here to the, what normally is called the aluminum field, where I do have a shelter. Because I think I've got enough oxygen to make that. There we go. Turn the light out. Now I could have gone to one over there by that spaceship that wreck. But I don't really think it's that much shorter to get to it. So I don't really have a lot of choice. If I'm going to keep going over to that wreck we were just at, I'm going to have to carry at least 3 oxygen bottles with me. And that's part of the reason why I have so much trouble holding on to cobalt. All right, we'll charge up a little bit. Now we can go ahead and drink, and we can eat. Uh-oh, it sounds like we're getting peppered. Yeah, we are. For some reason, they avoid anywhere where you've got structure. So you could kind of ignore them for the most part. Let's go ahead and organize. All that shaking is a little annoying, but other than that, I guess it's not that bad. I suppose I should hold on to that food for now. Let's see, we got pressure. I've already got 2 of them over there. So it would not make sense to put another one. Let's see, I think fabric is right in here, right, isn't it? Yeah, right there. Let's see, fuse is in here too, right? Yeah, right there. And let's see, I guess we do that one next. Since I have so much trouble holding on to cobalt. Then we do iron. Now, just keep in mind, I don't have as many storage lockers as I'm actually going to need. I forgot how many different lockers I needed, so I just had to guess. And that's why a lot of these just have a letter on them for growth space. Since I couldn't remember what I would end up putting in there. See, this is seed plants. That's where that would go. That's our food, so we're going to need oxygen bottles. Now, I don't want to take the cobalt out of there if I can help it. That's my backup supply. I want to take it out of here. So we got 2 there. And how many we got here? Oh, nice. That'll give me 3 oxygen bottles. That's a good number. Okay, we'll make our oxygen so we're less likely to run out. And we've got 2 water, we've got a couple food. I really should put that somewhere. But let's see, it would have to be probably here. I found a golden chest, and that's why I've got this effigy in here. This one I made one too many of them. I kept forgetting to count this one when I did the upgrade to the next level. Alright, I'll show you another way to get to that wreck. So you don't have to do all that, fancy building. Of course, you can go up that right there. Those beams act like ladders for the most part. You can fly over them and get to the next level. Of course, I showed you coming out how to go this way. But this time we'll show you how to get in. And then you got this entrance right here. Now, if you're still in early gameplay, this is how you'd probably do it. And this is how you get to all those shelving where you can find some super alloy. Alright, let's take everything and let's go ahead and take it. Nothing else in this area. Okay, we've pretty well cleaned up. And now we'll take all the stuff out of here. And let's see, I don't have T2, so I could take the beam now though. Then we'll come back to get all these when we have a T2 deconstructor. Oh, wait a minute. There's some spacesuits over here. Yep, there is. Go ahead and get those in this first trip. And we could go ahead and try to take all of this. And if I try to click on it now, watch what happens. Nothing. Whoops. Here we go. See, each time I push the left mouse button, it makes a noise like a cricket. Try to give you an idea that you need a T2. Of course, it tells you also. Alright. Oops, there's stuff in there. And we're full. Now, if I needed this fabric real soon, then I would donate this iron and grab the fabric. If I needed some of this, same deal. But all we really need right now is some oxygen. So we'll go ahead and do that. And we'll just make a mental note of what's left in here. Now, right now, I can afford to grab it. Yeah, those would not anything special. And we'll organize it. And can't get inside there. Nothing in the shelves. They won't let us take these in this spaceship, but in other spaceships it will. Now, this is the way you get across here. You just walk across. And then you look around for super alloy. And of course, I've made these little bridges to get back and forth. And I've got some iron with me, so I could make another one. See, these touch, so. And I think I've already been through here and got all the super alloy that was available. Well, that's the one we came across on. I don't have any more storage space anyway, so I'd have to dump something. And sometimes you can't get these to line up quite right, but if they'll go corner to corner, you can just walk across. Sometimes there's some zeolite hanging off of these branches. But this is also a good way to look down there and see if there's something worth collecting. And if you have the jet backpack, then of course you can fly down there, no problem. Now, as I was saying before, you got these little choke points where you have to fly across, but there's also the option of putting these little foundations here, like so. Oh, there's a super alloy right there too. And then you can just hop up there in case you don't have a jetpack. Well, since I used 2 out of inventory, I got a spot where I could go ahead and collect that. And here's another place where you can walk across. See, there's another kind of bad spot, so since I've got the stuff with me, and you can bridge it so you don't have to worry about falling down. See, do I have another one? Yep, I do. But notice that you cannot rotate. So you just have to decide how you want to put it in there. That got over the worst part of it. Now I just opened up a spot, so now I can collect this iron to do another one. Oh, I gotta do another oxygen bottle. Alright, so that gives me 3 spots. Let's go ahead and organize it. And I've got 3 to work with. I'm gonna need to make some more oxygen bottles, so we'll collect a pair of those. That'll give me 1 bottle. But there's all kinds of stuff to collect. Not just in the spaceship, but also down here. Now, I've already demonstrated how to do all that bridging and stairs and stuff, so I'm assuming you've watched the prior episodes, so I don't have to show that again. There's some more aluminum. That would be worth collecting, even though we're collecting it through an ore extractor over there on the area. I don't have the filter, so I can't drink right out of the water. Alright, let's see. Is there anything down in here? Sometimes you can find a blue crate. It doesn't look like it. Some of these are box cannons and dead ends. Let's see. I think there's a crate I haven't claimed yet. If I'm on the right leg. Oh, I'm tempted to go ahead and collect that, but we'll leave it for later. This maze is a pretty good place to get some pretty decent stuff. But I hope you have a good, strong sense of direction. Because if you don't, you're going to have to start marking this trail some way. Now, if you don't have the ability to make flares, because I don't have that ability yet. I can't make flares until a bit later in gameplay. Then you might want to start collecting some of that red rock. Oops, we've gone in circle. Yeah, because that's a spaceship right there. So I'll just take this exit right here. Because I think I've only got 1 oxygen bottle left. And I don't have a recharge station down here. Yeah, we'll just go across here. Back into the desert area. And that wreck that's ahead of us, I think I've pretty well cleared it out already. Oops. Yeah, I gotta make a pit stop here. And use another oxygen bottle, which is my last one, so I can't mess around much, collect much or anything. I got to head straight back into the main base of operations. And I think I've all but emptied that one out already. Now, this particular rock, I think they actually show on the map. But I don't think they show this other one. And I believe that's where you're going to find the underground. Yep, see right there? Now, I've already been in there, but you can find some decent stuff in there. If I remember right, that guy was left a note on his little monitor that said he was going out to look for some water. Because remember, this planet was barren rock. No atmosphere, no water, no nothing. No green grass, no plants, no trees, nothing. So he was faced with a desert environment, and he didn't make it. All right, so now we would hit our, make sure we're organized and decide what we're going to put away first. I'm going to put away the super alloy. Which is down here in this first row, right after the food. Use the control key, transfer it all once. And then we skip algae and go to aluminum. Then we go back to food since we found another space food pack. Now we got cobalt. I really should probably use it to make another oxygen bottle. Then we got fabric, which should be in this one right here. That's fuse. I must have passed it already. Yeah, there it is. Then we got iron. Now we've got plants. Of course, I file them under seeds. We've got vegetable seeds and plant seeds. Don't have a place for that, but we do have a place for that. And it's right down here. Now we've got vegetable seeds. See how the stuff is out of sequence? Oh, I want to put that one in, and I want to put that one in. I've got plenty of this, so I don't need to put that in. And I'll go ahead and drink and eat. I've got so many eggplant, it's crazy. Alright, so we'll take this eggplant out and eat it. We'll remove the seed pack and put this one in. And mushrooms, I think I've got over here. Yeah. Well, we'll take this one out. Put in the mushroom. We get another. Oh, we forgot to collect the seed. There we go. If I get another one, I'll put it there. And that way we'll have our mushrooms more or less in a row. I just don't have very much. Now, technically, I should take these beans out of here and put in the squash to keep them together. And I've got one more pack but it's also, well, it's the beans I just took out in it. So we'll take this one out and we'll put the beans in there. That'll help me keep track better of how many of what I've got. So let's see. Yeah, we've got all the beans I can handle already full. Let's see. It's too early to eat that one. So we'll just put them away. Now we'll get these two packs and put them away. So back to seeds and vegetable. and then we'll organize it. These are the ones that you usually collect when you're going into blue crates, gold crates, or a wreck, because that's usually the only place you can find them. And then later on you'll pick up some of these. Alrighty, did we give you a decent show and tell? Wow, didn't they just get done peppering me? Like I said, it's very rare for them to actually hit one of your structures. Now that's generic stuff there. You kind of tell because there's a lot of them. If there was, say, 1, 2, all the way up to 4, then that would be more rare, or that you might want to go out and collect. A lot of times when you clean up an area that's just beyond your base, it'll trigger one of these. There's other things that seem to trigger these storms, but removing all the elements and putting in a storage that's out there, and notice that they always start real early in the morning when it's still dark. Let's see, do I have an extra oxygen? No, I don't. So we better charge up first. Turn our light out since it's not dark anymore. Alright, there we go. So I like to fly around and see if by chance they left something that glows. If it glows, I want to see what it is. Now, if it's just a single meteorite, there's a chance it might be super alloy. And the problem with that is super alloy does not stay on the ground very long. Once the debris goes away, it's like you only get like, was it maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes at the most? If you don't pick it up, it disappears. See, I'm not seeing anything that glows. Of course, you have to look out in the water too to get a good idea. But now I'm at the point to where I need to start putting out trees. So I have to put out the machines. And if I remember right, those machines have to go inside, so that I can actually start making stuff to make some trees. See, there's our old pod that we crashed in. There was one structure I had forgotten to pick up before this filled up with water, so I had to come back and deconstruct it while it was underwater in an earlier episode. Of course, I've been having a little bit of trouble with these live connections and my connection. I even called my ISP once, and doesn't have a lot of competition for customers where I am. So I tried to get them to improve the bandwidth so I could get less problems with messages from YouTube saying that we didn't have enough going on, data flow, I guess you'd call it. Usually it's just another way of saying you don't have enough bandwidth coming from your ISP, internet service provider. So I called them up and complained, and when they were on the phone with me, the problem cleared up. As soon as I got off the phone, then the problem came back again. But it cleared up later, and it stayed cleared up. So that was the best way to go, I guess. Okay, I think we've been doing this for about an hour, haven't we? Yeah, I think so. So I'll tell you what, we'll call this good. We didn't really do much with the machine, so I'm not expecting to see much change here. In fact, oxygen has peaked out again. Until we plant some trees, I don't guess there's going to be much activity in the oxygen flow. Same thing with the heat. We've got to upgrade our heaters to see that start rolling again. Pressure, yeah, we'll have to do something to get that going. Biomass will improve with the trees. So we're not going to see much change in the terraformation score either. But we're already into the trees and we're heading for insects. So we're kind of lagging behind a little bit on getting the trees out. And that's why insects are staying at 0. Animals isn't even available for now. So our biomass score is not going to change until we get some trees planted. All right, well, I guess it's time for me to hit the old escape key, save it, and return to the main menu and say be well until next time.